Can you believe it's the final week of this series? It's taken a shitload of time to complete, but I am down to the final 5 videos of the series, and no, that does not mean I'm only going to tell the YouTuber to go fuck himself 5 more times. Now, way back in the beginning of this long adventure, I mentioned there'll be some oddities along the way in the series, and some unique games that will be in the series and also missing from the series. With Grand Theft Auto 5 in the background, there are probably quite a few of you wondering, where the hell is Grand Theft Auto 4? And probably a few people are also wondering, where's Red Dead Redemption and LA Noire? And those two are simple. The game genres just didn't appeal to me, but I already talked about that in yesterday's video. But Grand Theft Auto 4 is a much more complicated story. I bought Grand Theft Auto 4. I own Grand Theft Auto 4, and I played it for hours when it came out because it was a damn good game. The problem is, I no longer have the disc. A few months after I finished with the game, a friend of mine wanted to borrow the game, and I lent the motherfucker out. Why not? Unfortunately, he went through some personal issues, ended up having to move out of the country, and thus, I never actually got my disc back. Since that time, I've lost contact, and although I could be a dick and just say, hey, can you give me my shit back? You know, I haven't seen you in 5 fucking years, but hey, can you mail me my Grand Theft Auto 4 disc back? Or at least send me the money to buy one, just so I could post it up on my YouTube channel. So yeah, since that wasn't happening, there was gonna be no Grand Theft Auto 4 on my channel. So instead of stealing some random footage off of YouTube to use or whatever the fuck, or asking people to provide me with the content, I decided to skip the game, unfortunately. But since I have the time, I might as well give it a very quick review. At the time, the game blew everything out of the water, plain and simple. Between the story, the over-the-top action, the amount of shit that you could do in the sandbox they created, although I felt like the map was a little bit smaller than San Andreas, but it was still an amazing game. My only major pet peeve in the game is that the combat still felt awkward. You know, Grand Theft Auto was never truly a shooter game, and it only evolved the mechanics of a shooter game over time. But it wasn't on par with some of the other first and third person shooters at the time, and the cover system alone of getting stuck to walls like glue and shit like that got a bit frustrating. But either way, it was one of the best games created at the time. I think the story and how it unfolds is actually better than Grand Theft Auto 5. But overall, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a better game. But Grand Theft Auto 4's story showed that the main character was more sympathetic than Grand Theft Auto 5, which is just an old crew members doing one more last heist with a rookie on board. Grand Theft Auto 4's story is online with some of the greatest games that have ever been created on a console. Now, I also tried the online portion a bit, but obviously Call of Duty was much better and smoother, so I stuck with that at the time. Essentially, the online portion of the game needed more polish, while the campaign was an absolutely amazing experience. Now, does that sound familiar? Of course it does, because that leads me right into Grand Theft Auto 5. And I know people already know what I'm about to say about this game. Obviously, it has 2 main parts, which is the campaign and online. I'll start with the easy one, the campaign. It's an amazing piece of work what they put together. There aren't too many campaigns out there that can compete with what Grand Theft Auto 5 put in the game, other than maybe Skyrim, John. There aren't too many games that created one gigantic connected map, combined with all the amount of activities like bike riding, golf, tennis, racing, boating, fucking fishing, skydiving. Holy shit, this game blows away all the other sandbox games that have ever been created. The story is excellent, it's cheesily, utterly implausible, but that's the nature of Grand Theft Auto. It's supposed to be wild and crazy, and the idea of 3 main characters, always a risky idea if one character falls flat, came together perfectly. Of course, Trevor's one of the funniest motherfuckers you've ever seen in a damn game, and pretty much steals the show almost every single scene he's in, top to bottom. Everything Rockstar did in the campaign was top-notch. The voice acting alone, perfect, only rivaled by the remaining games left in the series. The driving was pretty damn good, and that included all the minor vehicles like the bikes, the motorcycles, the jet skis, you name it. Flying was a bitch, though. Oh my god, those fucking planes pissed me off. But whatever, they still managed to create some amazing shit with this game. The gunplay is a bit on the noobish side, you know, because of the auto-lock assist and shit like that. And you guys will notice in the background that I forgot to turn that shit off again. So what you see in the background is not my aim being that quick on the reflex, it's just that I was too fucking lazy to turn off the auto-lock assist. You know, I have a feeling I could have just disabled that shit, but whatever, man, I was too fucking lazy to do it. In any event, the amount of detail they put in this game is simply amazing. I mean, every single house is a different model. Just look at all the houses. Run through some of the backyards and shit, the ones mainly in the hills. You see, they went to great lengths to get an extraordinary amount of detail in the game. Between all the implausible but hilarious stories, the humor, the side missions, the activities, the strip club. Yeah, I dropped a grand in every now and then. I ain't gonna lie, this campaign is Game of the Year material. Game of the fucking console generation material as well. Had Rockstar just stopped at the campaign There is nothing on the planet that could have competed with the amount of shit they put in this game. Not BioShock, not Super Mario, Galaxy, or whatever the fuck he's up to at this point. Not The Last of Us, Metal Gear, Mass Effect, Grand Theft Auto 4. No game put this much amount of content, this much effort into a campaign and managed to bring all their characters to life like Grand Theft Auto 5. Then Rockstar had to go and piss it all away with their fucked up multiplayer mode. Holy shit, man. You know, it's absurd how badly they fucked that shit up. And like I said, from the day that shit pissed me off, you do not deserve Game of the Year awards when your shit is fucked up. Whether it was Skyrim, Fallout, and now Grand Theft Auto. When you royally fuck something up, whether it's on a console version of a game, the PC version of a game, or the multiplayer portion of a game, you don't deserve awards if other companies put out complete products without massive fuck-ups. If it's on the disc, then the shit should work. If you're going to promote and brag about something being the greatest fucking thing since Photoshop for fat chicks, it better be on point. Multiplayer was a hot mess, and when Rockstar unfucked the game, people saw just how narrow in scope the content really was online. I mean, just put it this way. How are those heists working out? You know, the shit that we were promised as part of the fucking game, that the shit still hasn't been released over 1 fucking year later. You know, seriously, I'll get into that in a minute. But let's just start with the launch of this motherfucker. The idea was to hold off the launch to multiplayer, and that was absolutely brilliant. It was really a fantastic idea because Rockstar created an amazing campaign that would take hours to complete, and they didn't just want people jumping into multiplayer just to get ranked up as quickly as possible and whatnot, while other people did the 20-hour campaign plus all the side missions in the game. Now, everyone is going in on equal footing. Everyone has a chance to learn the mechanics of the game in the campaign without having to learn the controls in multiplayer. It's something I think all games with massive campaigns should probably consider with their online portions of the game. However, in the time that we were playing the campaign, up until the second you open up the online portion that you're bragging about, you better make sure your shit works. I mean, if you're going to hold off an element of the game and then open it up to everyone a month after we paid for the game, that shit better work like fucking magic. Unfortunately, the servers pretty much took a shit on everyone. Completely and utterly fucking failed. You know, some people will point to this and say, well, what did you expect on the first day? Well, honestly, you expect the shit to work when you have all these fucking sales data right the fuck in front of you. $1 billion in sales were done in 3 days. Completely shitting on Call of Duty's records. The game sold 12 million in the first month alone before the online portion even opened up. You gave people 1 month to get excited for something that was on a staggered opening day. Did you not expect the fucking floodgates of hell to open up when people logged in? This was the most pre-ordered, purchased, and played game in history, and you had 1 month to prepare for the next phase of the game, and the servers were painfully underpowered. The massive amount of people trying to connect online basically made the game unavailable for the first few days. Most people got stuck in the tutorial. I even made a video showing the exact same spot I kept getting stuck in all the time. When Rockstar finally got their shit together and you created a character, you had to do that fucking tutorial. Fine, no problem. I don't mind doing the damn tutorial. Played the game a little, turned it off, then went back. What happened? I had no fucking character. I had to start that shit all over again at fucking level 1. Fine. This shit is fucked up. I get it. I didn't get very far since the game didn't let me advance too far, so I'll make another one. Get through the tutorial again, play for a hot minute, lost my character again. 4 fucking times over, including the final one that I got the furthest on, and at that point, I just said, fuck it. I even followed Rockstar's stupid-ass instructions that you need to exit the game in a certain way, and still lost my shit. Oh, fuck you. I got sick of this crap, man. This is video game making 101. How the fuck do you have an issue with people losing their characters because of how they left the game? Especially online, when there's really no save feature. Online is live. This isn't a campaign, motherfucker. I had it with that bullshit. Unlike Call of Duty, where servers get taxed because they're fucking incompetent, you don't lose your shit because of how you leave a game. You certainly don't lose it 4 times in a row without any of that shit actually fucking saving. Obviously, that's something Rockstar was going to address eventually, but I wasn't waiting around for that shit. Fuck them. You had a month to get your shit together. You should have rolled out a beta, considering you wanted to make the most ambitious online game ever created. Instead, you botched the launch, and as many people know the old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Grand Theft Auto 4 was a hot mess online at times, and now Grand Theft Auto 5 was utterly unfucking playable. I had no doubt in my mind that they would be fixing these things, because after all, how do you sell 30 million copies of a game and leave that shit broken online? Well, Dice can tell you about Buggy Field 4. But we knew the fixes were coming, man. The problem is, I was already pissed off and I wasn't coming back. I did the tutorial 4 fucking times. I made countless characters the first day when the shit was fucked up and all I could do was listen to Lamar asking me who his partner is. I couldn't take any more of that bullshit. When Rockstar finally fixed the game and people played, the complaints started coming in. Mainly it was design flaws. They pretty much fixed the loss of data issue, although there were a number of people who still lost characters and all that data, including one story over at the Rockstar website. Someone was level 80 and he lost all of his data after a server crash 3 months later. I mean, that's the kind of shit that would piss anyone off, man. But anyways, in playing the game, people realized that the content was fun, but it was a bit limited. You did missions, you got a little money, you could race or do all the kinds of shit, but essentially, to get to level 100 or whatever the fuck it was for the top trophy or achievement, you were gonna have to do some serious level grinding. It was an open world, sure, they created the largest online sandbox game imaginable, but they also created a flawed design game. How come apartments were priced differently yet they looked exactly the same inside? How come you were penalized for fucking up other people's cars? Rockstar's made some tweaks to the online recipe. They reduced the cash hit that you take when you die, but at the same time they reduced the payouts of repeat missions. Meanwhile, there weren't enough missions to actually rank up. After you did all those missions, you either created your own online shit in the sandbox game, or you had to do repeat mission after repeat mission after repeat mission, or go play against player versus player modes that a lot of people didn't want to play in this motherfucker. Hackers found their way into the online ranks in the game, and as you can imagine, glitched people billions of dollars. But I mean, every game goes through that. I mean, just look at Call of Duty, for example. This game was always in a permanent beta state, and the worst part is that the one item that they promised would be part of the game was heist. Yeah, that sure worked out pretty well now, didn't it? The only way of adding legs to this game for the long run was to allow user-created content down the road. Now you create the missions online. Oh, fucking great. Your solution to limited content is to allow people to create their own content in your fucking beta. It's a great feature, don't get me wrong, but one that should have been part of the game earlier along with heist. Now, before Rockstar even rolled this bullshit out, they warned people that they would be experiencing gaming glitches, and that it's an evolving world that will receive content over time. Glitches were to be expected. Fine, we get that, but not something as simple as losing your character because your shitty servers crap the fuck out. Evolving worlds and added content are fine, as long as it's being added relatively quickly, and when you say it's gonna arrive, the shit should arrive. How long did it take for the makeup payment that they promised to people? You know, how long did it take for people to get that $500,000 in their goddamn accounts or whatever the fuck it was? How many times did they say, next week, next week, next week, next week, until people just got tired of them bullshitting you around? If you're gonna jerk us around, I at least deserve a money shout out for this shit. At the very least, a beta learns these problems ahead of time. Instead, they sold us their beta. They pulled a Call of Duty on us, releasing an unfinished, untested product, and reacted to community's complaints by fixing shit, as opposed to getting feedback from us ahead of time as to what should have been fixed before the game actually released. This was an ambitious project, without question. It was probably more ambitious than any other game had ever rolled out to begin with, but the more ambitious you go, the more you have a need for an actual beta. I like Rockstar, I really do. They make amazing campaigns, and they actually take their time to develop amazing gaming experience, as opposed to just rushing shit out. But for Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever the fuck their next game is going to be, they need to test that shit out. There is no question I will get that game on day one, and I will enjoy the fuck out of their campaign, because that's Rockstar's specialty. But without an actual beta for the online portion of the game, there is no way in hell I would go back to that shit. Grand Theft Auto 4 was a hot mess. Grand Theft Auto 5 was beyond fucked up, and I have absolutely no confidence in them as an online game maker. Campaign? Yes. Online? Hell fucking no. I'm not gonna pay money to be someone's lab rat for their online game. That's just not happening. We did that for years with Call of Duty, and they seriously need to get their shit together for the online portion of the game. Give me a beta next time, and then I will consider returning to the online portion. But for now, I am sticking to Rockstar's campaign, and that's it. I will not venture to their online portion until they show me that they've actually improved on the products that they're selling us. Anyways, 1 down this week, 4 more to go, and I'm pretty sure you guys know which of the 4 final games that are going to be coming up in this motherfucker. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.